Welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. And here on Relationship Tuesday, we now want to switch gears just a little bit and talk about searching for love to escape yourself, okay? A lot of us obviously would love to fall in love, want to be in love. You know, as human beings, we're created to have a sense of belonging. I think it's something inherent in us. We all are looking for acceptance. But what happens when that search for love comes from a place of avoidance and fear and unconscious moves? Yani, you're running away from things to love and you think that it is real love. That's what we want to tackle here on the show just before we close it out for the day. And joining me to tackle it, I have Angela Katua, who's a relationship coach and a motivational speaker. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Joyce.
All right. So does this actually happen, that people use love to run away from the realities of their lives?
It happens a lot to many people. Many people are not aware that they need to first work on themselves before they can even get out there and get the love that they need.
Right.
Because most of the times we tend to emit what we have. We kind of even attract what we are.
Mm-hmm.
So many times we search for love, thinking that this love is going to fill the void and cure the pain that we might be having and the fears that we might be having, instead of first working on ourselves and just being okay with ourselves first before even bringing someone else in our lives to love us,
Right.
and to be with us.
Okay. So what are some of the signs that someone is using love to sort of escape themselves? What does that actually look like when it plays out?
If you're this person who believes that they are not complete without a partner, a romantic partner, then you're searching for love to fill a void.
Yeah.
If you're also this person who is not okay being alone, you're always feeling lonely. You're feeling that your life will have a meaning when you have someone by your side.
So right now, because you're single, you feel like your life is not good.
Yes, you feel that you're missing something. Then you will end up searching for love so that you fill that void. You might also be that person who you want to just look for validation from people. And you feel that when this person is in your life, then people are going to view you in a different way. So you end up now looking for love so that people look at you differently.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the things that are behind that, the things that are behind those type of behaviors, that neediness really, that's behind people sort of feeling like they constantly have to be in a relationship.
I don't know if you've heard many people talking about love and saying that if it's women, they say that all men are the same, or all women are the same if it's a man. And this comes from a place where we tend to attract the same kind of people, and we end up being in hoping relationships. We hope from this one to another one, and many times these relationships don't even last.
Yeah.
So this we kind of tend to not even be okay with ourselves, that we always want to bring in other people to fill in that void, and we want to have different kind of people, and we are trying to sample, thinking that this person might bring a different change in our lives. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we kind of maintain the same kind of relationships,
Right.
because of who we are,
Right.
instead of first working on ourselves,
Okay.
so that we attract what we want.
So talk to us about that, because I also do tend to believe that you attract, who you are, really. Like, you're a reflection of who you attract is a reflection of what you yourself believe in, what your character is, what your principles are, what your values are. So for someone who's saying, man, I keep attracting the wrong guys, how do you go about sort of changing who then is attracted to you? What's the first step?
First step is have a list of the qualities that you want from a partner. If you want a patient person, write that down. You want love, write that down. You want, the other qualities apart from now the physical part, qualities, the other qualities that make a person. Write them down, each and every quality, and then ask yourself, do I have these qualities myself? And examine the relationships that you've had before. Was I patient? Was I maybe was I a violent person? Because sometimes you might be violent and you don't even know that you're being violent.
Yeah.
You're being
or
violent
your anger, like you don't have control
you're
of your
very
anger,
angry.
and it can lead to violence.
Yeah, you've not healed from the past pain. You're still carrying it with you. So when you have pain inside you, you are obviously going to attract even pain, because this person will also come with a similar baggage. Because what we have is what we give. We tend to give, and in relationships, we kind of we are supposed to be there to give. We are supposed to go for love, to get a relationship that you are supposed to be giving, not receiving. You're not there to receive, and you can only receive love when you're giving love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do you encourage or talk to someone who has been hurt before? They've experienced maybe really terrible relationships. How does someone heal from that so that they can be much more open and receptive to being this better person that is able to attract better people too in their relationships?
The one key thing about relationships is honesty. And you cannot be honest with another person if you're not honest with yourself. So you start by being honest with yourself. Look at yourself deeply and see what are the gaps that I had as a person. What gaps did I have? What made this person react in this way or treat me this way? Because people treat us the way we make them, the way we let them treat us. Nobody will treat you badly if you do not allow them. So what made you allow them to treat you the way they treated you?
Right.
So if you be honest with yourself, and truth hurts. Sometimes we don't want to face the truth, even on ourselves.
Sure.
We don't want to face our own truth. Sometimes we avoid our own truth and we are out there looking for validation or for the problems from the other side instead of looking at ourselves first.
Right.
So I would advise people to first look at themselves, look at what really made you accept this kind of relationship.
Yeah.
What made you get drawn to this kind of relationship? Is it the need for money? Is it the need for validation? Is it the need for just having someone or being equal to everyone else who has relationships? Just the colorfulness of love, because love is tends to kind of make us colorful, and we kind of we get validated out there when you have a relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe you can give us your final thoughts as we wrap up this topic. Maybe what's the one takeaway you would like people to walk away with, as far as chasing love and avoiding, the realities of our lives? What would be your final takeaway?
My final takeaway would be: do not run into relationships first before you know who you are and what you truly want, because we have grown from our backgrounds. When we were children, we are told the stories about fairy tales, and the story ends with forever. They lived forever, happily ever after. So we need to first of all get away with that notion that we are living forever, happily ever after. But first of all, work on ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know I said I was going to let you go, but there's two interesting questions that have just come in that I really want to read. One of them says, I'm 42 now, a single guy, and my teenage experience exposed me to pain at an early age. I never understood love, nor had the joy of love and having a father. I'm just realizing that my childhood experience has power to build or destroy a soul and decisions, and my teenage exposures killed the ideology of true love. I developed bipolar disorder, but I thank God, Christ, for revealing himself to me. And so you say you will rise up again, and that's from Tony. You certainly will. Thank you so much for sharing that. But again, echoing what you were saying, that, you know, a lot of the times the things that we've been through in life can affect us in ways that we don't even know, because sometimes those things are so embedded in our subconscious, right, that they affect us in ways that we don't know. So it's always important as a human being, you know, sit down, as we were saying, have a meeting with yourself and just assess yourself, like truly ask yourself some hard questions, reflect upon your life and see, you know, are you the one sort of putting yourself at a disadvantage? It's a painful process,
Yes, it is.
but one that is far too important. One more question here. Hey Joyce, I'm Achieng, watching from Nairobi. I wanted to ask, is it wrong to want to be with someone who is financially stable, being that you have come from so far on your own and achieved more on your own? Thank you so much. And you say we're looking great. Thank you so much for that. A great question too, though. You know, if you've been working hard in your singlehood, you've made it to a certain place, surely isn't it okay to desire that, you know, whoever you are with is financially stable?
It is very okay. It is very okay. And as I said earlier, we tend to attract who we are.
Yeah.
And this person is talking of herself as someone who is financially stable. So why would you even be attracting someone who is not? Because you need to be also at par, and you need to have unity of purpose. This person who is also financially stable needs, most likely he has also worked on himself, and he also has a purpose.
Right.
And most likely you'll end up, you find that these two people have some unity in a way, and they will end up having one purpose in their marriage if it turns out to be a marriage.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with wanting a relationship with someone who is financially stable.
Right.
First, you ask yourself, what have I done of myself
Right.
to be also financially stable?
Right. And I feel like with that, it's important to say that sometimes, as we've been talking about today, you know, life is about seasons. Time and chance happens to everybody. And so I think we also need to be changing our perspectives a little bit, that financial stability isn't necessarily about an amount in the bank. Right? To me, financial stability could also be someone's work ethic. You know, are you disciplined and are you hardworking? Because maybe right now you're in a valley, you're going through a really difficult time, and so things are not as stable. For me, the problem would be if that's just your constant, you know, outlook on life. You don't bother to work hard, you're not diligent with anything, you don't have any self-discipline, you know, so you're not financially stable financially, or even as far as your discipline is concerned, because at the end of the day, even that discipline is needed to remain financially stable.
Yeah, because if you look at the money as the main aspect, money comes and goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you look at it like the main aspect, there must be other things that are really making that person. It's not just the money. Because if you look at it, it doesn't make you. Money cannot make you. Yeah. So it's good to avoid just looking at the money itself, but looking at the person themselves and trying to see whether this person has a vision. First of all, what are they doing for their lives? Are they working on themselves? Because money, you know, there are so many ways of getting money, even corruption.
Even very wrong ways. So someone
many.
can have money, but, you know, do you resonate with that value? So if all you're looking at is, mi nataka mtu na pesa, and you don't care how they got it, that is actually a reflection on you as well. Because it means you're going to be the one sustaining that habit. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Angela, for being here this morning. Angela Katua, she's a relationship coach and a motivational speaker. Asante sana for your time.
Thank you.
Really do appreciate it. And thank you to all of you for your feedback and your comments. We're going to take a song here. It's by Jabby D, and I'll be back in just a bit to wrap up the show. I was going to say the song. To wrap up the show, stay tuned.
Imagine andika verse na inakata but lazima devu ashikwe na hatata just passing by sina ubaya. When you give cheerful. They were in need, you were helpful. Instead of them being grateful, wakakuwa na mshenzi ya grateful. Asanti ya punde mateke painful. Good deed inakuwa regretful. Put your trust in God, you know anakuwa faithful. At that time toko unfaithful. And the cross Jesus paid a big bill. So rent for him is not a big deal. At a bill a door when the son of king. So when you step in, royalty pan the building. Din. Conqueror, kang. When God is by your side, you can never lose. Winning team, big deal. Din. You begin on my bike, boom. Check it, nip a trumpet, param pa pam pam. Come on, tam, say my twice, tam. Anakupenda irregardless where you come from. Word of God ni food, you can have some. Ukuwe na nguvu kama Samson. Kwanza ukisoma pale Samson. Ini bless nipate kusing song. Mashinani wataweka ringtone. Sometimes nakosa napiga 1 mil a day. But wase wasifanye nijimade. Meanwhile watanijibambe. Focus on Jesus, nitamwona one day. Din. Conqueror, kang. When God is by your side, you can never lose. Winning team, big deal. Din. You begin on my bike, boom.
All right, well, that's it, guys. We've come to the end of our show this morning. Asanteni sana for being a part of it, for your company, your questions, your comments, and your feedback. Let me just read some final shout-outs here. Iman James has been tuned in throughout, and he says, oh, very interesting topic. Hadi nimeongeza volume. Asante sana for that. Daniel Mengich Mugor, you also say now you know, and that was based on our last discussion there about, just chasing love and escaping the realities of our lives. Very quickly, shout out as well to Jane Kinua Koi Mwas. You're watching us from Mirema and you say you're loving the show. Sharon Mweni watching from Bungoma. Jeff Munanjugush from Soweto. Diana Nkoitok watching as well. Virginia Ryans, you say you're watching us from Westlands. Thank you so much to all of you. And Aneth Kerubo, asante sana, watching us from Mombasa. Well, guys, that's it from me. Asanteni tena. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. live for Health and Wellness Wednesday. Until then, have yourselves a wonderful time. I'll see you soon. God bless. Ciao.
Imagine andika verse na inakata Bote lazima devu ashikwe na hatata Just passing by, sina ubaya When you give cheerful They were in need, you were helpful Instead of them being grateful Wakakuwa na mshenzi ya grateful Asanti ya punda mateke painful Good deed inakuwa regretful Put your trust in God, you know anakuwa faithful At that time toko unfaithful And the cross Jesus paid a big bill So rent for him is not a big deal At a billado when he's son of king So when you step in royalty pan the building Din. Conqueror, kang. When God is by your side, you can never lose. Winning team, big deal. Din. You begin on my bike, boom.